Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. In this video, I am going to discuss about how to automate drop-down list and what are all the different operations we can perform on the drop-down list. Okay, first of all, we have already know that drop-down list is also a web element where we can perform different operations on this particular drop-down list. First of all, how this drop-down list can be created. Okay, this drop-down list can be created with the help of select tag name. Okay, with the help of select tag name, this drop-down list is going to be created. At the same time, if you can see, if you open any drop-down, you can see all these options, right? So these are all the options which are used to defined by. Okay, these options are defined by a tag name that is called as option. Okay, option is a tag name that is used to elements which are defined inside the drop down list, but select is a class name used to create the drop down list web element. Okay, drop down list web element. First let me inspect this particular drop down list and we will see whether it is a drop down or not. If any drop down which is consisting the select is a tag name means, then we can consider it as a drop down. Okay, sometimes what will happen, it will looks like a drop down only, but that is not at all a drop down. So in that cases you don't find any tag name that is called as select if that is not a drop down. If that is a drop down means that must and should be created with the help of select tag name. Here you can see here select is a tag name. With the help of this select tag name, this drop down is created. At the same time, the options present inside this drop down is created with the help of a tag name that is called as options tag name. Here you can see options. Okay, option is a tag name which is used to define the elements such as Afghanistan, Islands, Albania, Algeria. Like how many number of options are present inside this drop down, these are defined with the help of options tag name. Okay, so here in our Selenium WebDriver provided select class. Okay, Selenium WebDriver provided one class that is called as select class, where we are going to use this select class to automate our drop down list. At the same time, this select class provided a set of predefined methods like select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Okay, with the help of all these three methods, we can able to automate the drop down. Okay, we can automate these particular drop down lists. Okay, so now we will discuss what are the different operations we can perform on the drop down list. Here you can see, okay, what are the different operations we can perform on the drop down list means we can select an item. If you go to the drop down list, we can select an item here. Okay, so how we can select? With the help of select by visible text, with the help of select by index, with the help of select by value. Okay, these are all the three different methods we are going to perform different operations on the drop down list, such as we can able to select an item from the given drop down list. At the same time, we can count how many number of items present inside that particular drop down list. So here we can able to find how many number of options are present inside the drop down list, such as how many countries are available inside this particular drop down list. Okay, the next operation here is check specific element is displayed in the list of values or not. So how we can check? So I want to check if the country that is Australia is present inside this drop down list or not. We are going to perform. At the same time, we can also check whether the values which are present inside this drop down is displaying in a specific order or not. Here they are following some specific order, that is alphabetical order. We are going to check whether all the values which are represented inside this drop down list in a specific order or not. We are going to test. So first we will see how we can select an item from this particular drop down list or any kind of drop down list. Okay, so as we discussed, drop down means first that should be initiated with, that should be created with the help of select tag name, right? And also Selenium WebDriver provided one class that is called as select class. Okay, with the help of select class, we are going to define one drop down list web element. So how we can define? Saying that here you can see I have already inspected this drop down list. For example, let me go to here and let me paste this XPath. Here you can see it is highlighting. Okay, I captured the XPath for this particular drop down. Okay, this particular drop down. Here you can see select. It is directly telling select is a tag name. Here you can see select is a tag name. Okay, so here also you can see select is a tag name used to create a drop down list web element. Okay, then so now our XPath got completed here. So what is our next step? So now I am going to use one class that is called as select. Okay, select is a class which is provided by the Selenium WebDriver. Select. So here what I am going to mention means drop down list equals to new select of. Okay, we have to define. Okay, we have to define our drop down web element here. So once it is done, here what I did here is to automate. Okay, to automate all these operations. Okay, to automate all these operations, at first we have to create a select class object for the drop down list web element. So here I have created one select class object for the given drop down list web element in this line. So once it is done, with the help of drop down list reference variable, I am going to call drop down list. I am going to use some methods here. If I want to select a value from the given drop down list, you can see here there are many methods: select by index, select by value, select by visible text. First I will show with select by index. Okay, select by index of. So here based upon your drop downs, that index based value will change here for all the options. In my case, the index value is starting from 1. In some cases this starting index, that is an empty value, so during the time we are not going to consider. So that's the reason why we are taking it from index value 1, but in my case it is already starting with 0. Okay, so that's why I'm mentioning here select by index of 0. Select by index of 0. So what it will do, it is going to select the first value, that is called as Afghanistan. Okay, so next, what is our next method? So I want to select some different method now. For example, first scenario I am using select by index of Afghanistan, I will select. So later I want to select Andorra with the help of select by visible text. After that I want to select with the help of select by value. This time I am selecting Australia. So how we can select, we will see. Okay, this is the method for selecting value with the help of index. Now I am going to select with the help of select by visible text. Okay, select by visible text. Now go to your drop down list of options and inspect this one. Okay, so here are the options we have here. So I am going to select by visible text of American. Okay, American Samoa. So this is my string, this is my option value. Okay, so now how we can select with the help of drop down list dot select by value? How we can select? Okay, how we can select here with the help of select by value? What is the tag name here? Option is a tag name used to define the options present inside the drop down. So at the same time you can see here one property name that is called as value. What is a value for that value? That is a DZA. Okay, so if I am using here select by value, means we need to mention the value, whatever the whatever the option they have mentioned here, the value we are going to use that particular value. If I want to select AIA with the help of select by value, I am going to use this particular value. Okay, that is AIA. So now first it will select Afghanistan, and next it will select American Samoa, and then next it will select what is the value here, what we mentioned, AIA, which means Anguilla. Okay, Anguilla it is going to select. So now for each and every, before going to select the next web element, I am going to, for the next option I am going to use one thread dot sleep wait condition here. Okay, thread dot sleep. So now after selecting the American Samoa also I am using thread dot sleep. After this also I am using thread dot sleep, so that you can able to understand whether it is selecting according to the index value, according to the text, according to the select by value method. Okay, let me execute this program and we will see whether it is working fine or not. what happened? What happened to our browser? Any updated versions are there? Invalid argument exception. Where invalid argument? Where exactly the invalid argument exception? Wait, let me check from here. At which line? Okay, drop down list it is. Okay, element drop down, new select of drop down, correct only. Okay, new select of drop down, but why? Okay, let me execute it from testng.xml file and we will see the output whether it is working fine or not. Okay, it got completed. Maybe there are some issue with driver dot get. Okay, here you can see we are missing out our missing our URL here, so that's why it is not launching. So let me paste this URL here and let me run it one more time. This time it will work. Okay, we are not providing URL, unfortunately I have missed out that one. So now we will see. Okay, here you can see American Samoa and then Anguilla. Okay, here you can see it got selected 3 different values if you observe or not. So now if you go to your console, it is telling test drop downs handling and drop down list method got passed. Okay, here you can see the first it is selecting with the help of index value 0, that is Afghanistan, and then it is selecting with the help of visible text, that is American Samoa. After that it is selecting with the help of select by value, that is AIA. So how I am passing here means with the help of options tag name these options are created. So with the help of attribute value equals to, what is the value here, ASM or AGO, we can use these values if you want to select any item with the help of select by value. So this is how we can use these methods to automate the drop down list. That is the first operation we have performed so far, that is selecting an item. Okay, selecting an item with the help of select by visible text, select by index value, select by value. So now it is going to maximize our browser window. Then here you can see Afghanistan, it is selected. Then it is going to select American Samoa. After that it is going to select Anguilla. Here you can observe. Okay, it got completed now, and let me go to our console part. Here you can see now we performed these 3 operations together. So in the same way, what is our next operation, that is counting number of items present inside a drop down. So I want to count how many number of items present inside our drop down. So how we can count? Okay, how we can count means, so first after this line, with the help of select class provided one get options method. Okay, with the help of get options method I am going to capture all the option elements present inside the drop down. Okay, select class is providing one method that is called as get options. Okay, with the help of this get options method I am going to capture all the options elements present inside this drop down list, and the return type of this get option method here is list of web elements. Okay, the return type here is list of web elements. So if I want to get the size means, with the help of list dot size I am going to get the size of all these options, how many are present inside this drop down. Okay, so now let me go to our Eclipse. So let me write some logic saying that, so now we are using one class here and we are creating an object for the drop down web element. So after this line I am going to mention one line that is called as list. Okay, I am using one list of web element. Okay, list of web element, because those are all list of options which are available inside the drop down list, right? So here countries list, okay, those are all called countries list, right? We are going to fetch how many number of options. So for that I have mentioned a variable here, countries list equals to, okay, countries list equals to where are all these options are present inside this particular drop down list, right? Inside this particular drop down list. So let me use this drop down list dot. If you put dot operator, you are getting multiple methods here. So here we can say get options method, which will return you the options which are belonging to that particular web element, whether it is a drop down, whether it is a suggestion list, any kind of list. We are going to use get options method. Okay, get options. Okay, get options method. So now what I am going to do, I am going to print how countries list dot size. Okay, countries list dot size. I am going to print how many options are present inside that particular drop down. So how I made here means, first I am capturing all the options from the drop down and I am storing into some list. So with the help of our actual drop down what we have created, the object, so with the help of that one I am going to getting the options with the help of get options method. Okay, here get options select class, this get options is provided by the select class. Okay, here you can see select. Okay, this get options method is provided by the select class, which will capture all the option elements present inside the drop down list element, and its return type is list of web element. So with the help of this list is containing all the captured options from the drop down list, and then I am taking the size. So now we will execute how many countries are available, we will see it now inside that particular drop down list. Okay, before that we are performing all these actions, saying that select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Okay, okay, Afghanistan, then American Samoa, after that Anguilla, then it is going to return us how many options are present. Okay, it's done now. Now let me go to console part. We will see here totally there are 249 options are available inside this particular drop down list, means totally 249 countries are available. Okay, totally 249 countries options are available inside this particular drop down list. Okay, so that is how we can perform, how to count number of items present inside the drop down list. So what is our next one here? What is our next one? Checking the specified element is displayed in the list of values or not. So I am going to checking whether, okay, I am going to checking whether the country Australia is present inside the drop down list or not. Okay, I am going to test whether the Australia option is available inside this drop down list or not. So let me write a piece of code for that one as well. So the same way we are capturing with the help of get option method, and its return type is list of web elements, and I am printing the size. After this what I am going to use here, I am going to use two string variables, that is string expected result. I am going to compare, right? So whatever I am expecting, whether it is matching with the actual result or not. Okay, expected country comma, okay, country comma, next one actual country, right? Actual country. Okay, actual country. So I am going to compare these two, expected country, actual country. If it is there, please give me result as pass. If it is not there, please give me result as fail. So for this reason I am going to use one boolean value saying that country exists. Initially I am taking it as a false. Okay, boolean country exists equals to false. After that I am using one for loop here, because I need to iterate. Okay, if I am comparing with actual and expected, means I need to iterate for each and every option. First, this is my expected value, for example, or Argentina is my expected value. So what it will do, I am going to write some logic saying that, so whenever my expected result is matching with the actual result from this list of options, then you can give me as pass. So that's the reason why I am using here one boolean condition is false, one boolean variable saying that value called as false. So now for int I equals to, okay, for int I equals to 1, because our drop down list option value is starting from 1 here, okay, 1. So I equals to 1. After that, what is our line? I need to take the size I less than which one? I less than our which one? I less than our list of web elements, that is countries list. Okay, I less than countries list dot size, right? Dot size. Okay, dot size, and then I am going to increment each and every web element. I need to check whether it is matching or not, right? So after that, what I am using here, with the help of what is our actual country, what we are getting, actual country equals to which one? Actual country equals to what is our next one here? Countries list. I am using countries list. Okay, countries list dot get of I. Okay, based upon the index value only, I am going to getting the options from the given drop down. Anyway, we are storing all these options into one list. So the same list, with the help of the same list, I am going to getting the index value. Okay, after that, what I am doing, dot get text. I am getting the text of the getted option. Okay, so then what I am writing here, if if my expected country, if my expected country, now I am comparing, if my expected country dot equals of ignore case equals ignore case of what is our actual country here, this one, right? Actual country. Okay, now whatever I am getting inside my actual country, I am comparing with my expected country. Okay, that is expected country dot equal ignore case of actual country. So here expected country, what it is, what we are expecting, that is Australia. Okay, actual and expected country equals to Australia. I am expecting for this country which is present in the drop down list or not. Okay, Australia. So now what I am doing here, after that I am comparing my Australia dot equals ignore case of actual country. So this actual country, what it will do, it will iterate throughout the list of options, saying that 249 options, it is going to search for the expected country. If Australia is present inside this particular list, so then what I am going to do, what I am doing here, what we take here, boolean value, if it is there, please give me written as true, right? True. If it is not there, you can come outside of that one. If it is there, terminate the condition here only. Okay, terminate the condition here. I am terminating my if condition here only. I don't want to waste my time to continue with the remaining options also. Once if I found my desired option from the drop down list, once that is done, okay, once that is done, what I am doing here, if, okay, if my country exists, okay, if my country exists, I am printing if my country exists. So what I am printing here, what I am printing, system.out.println country present and test passed. Okay, country present and test passed. If it is not present, else. Okay, if it is not present means what, system.out.println country not present and test got failed. For example, I am telling, I am not using any assertions here, country not present and test failed. Okay, and test failed. Okay, so this is the piece of code to check whether the expected country is available inside our which one, drop down list of option or not. Okay, now let me execute this program. Okay, let me execute this program and we will see. Okay, this time we are checking for option called as Australia. If that Australia is present inside the drop down list of options, what is our actual country, then it will return you system.out.println country present and test got passed. If it is not there means it is going to return you as false. Okay, Anguilla, now it is going to print whether my test is pass or not. Okay, here you can see country present and test passed. So what will happen if I mention here? Okay, what will happen if I mention anything like Australians? This time this Australians is not there, so what we will get, we will see in the console now. Okay, this is also one operations where we can perform on the drop down list. At the same time there is one more operation that is called as how to read items present in the drop down list. Means I want to print all the drop down list of options inside my console part. So how we can do, we will see that one as well. Okay, Afghanistan changing to American, after that Anguilla. Okay, now we will see our output, what it is printing. Okay, here you can see country not present and test got failed. Country not present and test got failed because I am not using any assertions, so that's why you are getting everything test as passed only without any failures. So in this way we can check whether the desired option is present inside the drop down list or not. Means expected country is present in the drop down list or not, that is actual country. Okay, so this is how we can check whether the given option is present inside our drop down list or not. Okay, so now what I am going to perform now, checking. Okay, now I am going to check whether the list of options are displaying in the specific order or not. So I am going to execute now. Okay, so the same code only. Okay, from here to here everything is same only. So what I am going to use here, ascending order, means which are presenting like ascending means A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, G means alphabetical or sequential order or not. I am going to test now whether the options are arranged in ascending order, sequential order or not. Okay, for that again the same only, the same piece of code only I am taking from list of web elements and I am capturing the options till here. After that I am creating two strings here, that is string expected and actual and boolean. Okay, here I am going to change this one to boolean order equals to true. Okay, boolean order equals to true. If the order is true, okay, if the order is true, what I am doing here, countries list dot size I plus plus, then what I need to do here, I have to remove. Okay, I have to remove the whole remaining part here. Okay, that is actual country, right? Actual country equals to, sorry, I will rename this to string. Okay, string 2, so that you will get confused if I use expected and actual again. String 1. Okay, string 1 and string 2. So now let me delete this line here and so go back to here and string 2. Okay, that is string 1 equals to, what I am going to do now, that is country list dot get of I. First I am taking the string 1 as country list dot get of I. After that what I need to do, I want to go to the next element, right? I want to go to the next element. How we can go? The help of the second string variable, that is country list dot get of I plus 1. Okay, I am going to check for each and every web element, means ascending order from top to bottom. So that's why I am adding here get of I plus 1, getting the text here. So now what I will add here, one condition, if str2 dot compare to, okay, if sorry, string2 dot compare to, here you can see compare to ignore case. I am not using anything here that should be in capital or small. So that's the reason why I am ignoring the case here, whether it is capital letters or small letters. Okay, compared to ignore case of which one, str1. I am comparing now, means the next one I am going to compare with the previous one. For example, you can see here. Now what I am doing, islands dot compare to equals ignore case of Afghanistan. Okay, so likewise I am comparing with the next element to the previous element. Okay, so now string1 I am comparing with the next web element, the second option with the previous option, that is first option. After that, what I am using here, less than 0. Okay, less than 0. Okay, in our case less than 1. Okay, in our case less than 1. So if that is ordered equals to true means, okay, now what I am reading here, order equals to false here, order equals to false. Okay, if it is not in an order, you can come outside of this particular if condition, and if that is in order, so I am going to print the same value. If order, okay, if order system.out.println values are in order, countries present in order, present in order, not present in order. Okay, not present in order. Okay, not present in order. So this is the piece of code to check whether the given web elements are in sequential order or ascending order or not. Okay, so first what I am doing here, I am taking the next web element or next option, that is islands, and I am comparing with the Afghanistan, because Afghanistan index value starting from 1, right, 0 only. Sorry, I am going to start with from 0 only. Okay, so 0, and the island presented the index value of 1. So string 2, the next web element, I plus 1 means 1 plus 1 what, 2. Okay, 0 plus 1 1. Okay, islands, if islands dot compare to equals ignore case of, compare to ignore case of string 1 means get of y, what, 1, right. So our index value is 0 here, so I am taking from 0 only. In our case options are starting from 0 only, so that's why. Okay, 0 plus 1 1. So after that I am comparing here with, if it is not less than 0. Okay, string 2 dot compare to ignore case of string 1 less than 0, string 2 compare with Afghanistan less than 0. Okay, less than 0, then order equals to false, then break. If everything is okay, then come outside of that particular for loop and execute this remaining piece of code. Okay, now let me execute, whether we will see. I am also not sure about the index values what I am using here, and we will see, we will modify accordingly. If it is starting from 1, we will add accordingly. Okay, completed. Country not present in order and test failed. Okay, because of these values, I guess less than 1 I will keep here. Let me execute. Okay, so American Samoa, Anguilla, and it is going to print the output here, whether it is pass or not. Okay, country not present in order and test got failed. Okay, so in this way also we can check, because As we discussed, these are present in an order, but C, D, E, F is there. Yeah, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So we can check whether the given list of options are specified in the sequential order or not. Okay, so in this way we can test that scenario, and also in this way we can perform that particular operation on the drop down, whether the given drop down list of options are present in the sequential order or not, or in ascending order or not. Okay, in this way we can do this one. So after this, so what else we can perform on the drop down means we can able to read all the items present inside our drop down list. Okay, we can able to read all the elements present inside our drop down list. How we will do that one, we will see it now. So I want to print all the drop down list of options inside my console. So how we will do, we will see that one. So for that, the same only, I am not going to disturb any code here. I will just add only 1 or 2 lines here. Okay, so now till here everything is okay. So now select B list. Okay, select country list we are using here, drop down list we are using here, and we are taking get options method here. After that we are printing the size as well. Once that is done, I am using one for loop here. After that I plus plus. So inside this I am going to write some line, like some piece of line like string. Okay, string country. Okay, country name equals to, country name equals to which one, which one I need to take here, country list. Country list. Okay, country list. The next one what, country list dot get. Okay, country list dot which one, country list dot which one I am going to use here, country list dot get of. Okay, get of index value, that is I dot get text. Okay, so the index value is starting here from which one, I equal to 0 only, right? So now I am going to print simply in the console saying that countries names, countries names. Okay, countries names concatenate of country name. Okay, in this way we can print all the necessary list of options present inside the drop down list. Okay, present inside the drop down list. Okay, so system.out.println country name. So what I did here, these two are not required for now, let me delete. Okay, what I did, I have captured all the list of options with the help of get options, and I am storing into some list. Once it is done, I am going to each and every option which is present and starting from the 0th index based value. So how I am taking, I am storing into some string dot get of I value. First it is starting from 0, so till it is printing 250. If, because in our list of options we have 249 elements, if 250 is less than 249, it is not satisfying the condition, so it will terminate from the come out of the for loop. Okay, now we will see whether it is printing all the list of options present inside the drop down or not. Okay, it is going to select now American. After that it is going to select now Anguilla, and then it is going to print the size of how many number of options are available. Later it is going to print all the country names in the console part. Okay, here you can see it started printing. Okay, in this way we can print all the list of options which are present inside our drop down. Okay, so these are all the different operations we can perform on the drop down. Okay, these are all the different operations we can perform on the how to read all the options from the drop down list. Okay, this is how we can print all the options from the drop down list. Okay, yeah. So first we discussed about what is a select class and what is an options class, options method or options tag name. Okay, first we discussed about select tag name and options tag name. Later we discussed about what is select class and what are the different methods which are provided by the select class. So after that we have automated one scenario with the help of selecting an item, the help of index value, with the help of value, with the help of visible text. So later we performed counting the number of items present in the drop down list. After that we have tested whether the specified element is displayed in the list of values or not, that is Australia. After that we are checking that the options what we are getting, whether those are displaying in the specified order or not. Later we performed one action that is called as how we can read all the options from the drop down list. Okay, so in this way we can perform all these operations on drop downs. And also there are different kinds of drop downs are available. Some drop downs are there, but those are not looks like an drop downs only, but those are not a drop downs at all, because if that is a drop down means there must and should be one tag name that is called as select. Okay, the tag name is called as select. So and some bootstrap drop downs also there. If you go to any shopping website, if you mouse over, it will give you some list of options, so those we can consider as a bootstrap drop downs. Okay, so that's all it for now guys. I hope these concepts will help you at least from my side 5 to 10%. If you find this video was helpful for you, please drop a like and also please subscribe to my channel if you are new to here, and also please share all our videos to our friends or colleagues so that our videos will recommend for more people. Okay, thank you so much guys. We will connect with our upcoming videos, and also I am going to upload this video under one playlist that is called as Selenium series. Okay, thank you so much guys. Thank you.